Michael Ortega steps in and he stops this fight. Huh. Well, I don't want to see a guy get hurt with prolonged punishment, Ray, but I don't know if I agree with that stoppage.
I don't.
Well, it was a big shot, and it snapped his head, which I think kind of made
see that shot.
Ref.
I'll say this, I don't think Takahashi was winning the fight. And so if you look at it from a wider, kind of the wider lens and say, hey, what are we really trying to do here? Okay, but his head may have been snapped, Ray, but he wasn't wobbled. He wasn't taking a knee. It's a championship fight, right?
Yeah, Brian Kenny.
I just don't agree with the stoppage.
I don't agree with the stoppage either. I don't know what that referee was on. Just because it's a boring fight and, the fighters, he wasn't in trouble. It was like, you don't know it can happen. It was a bad stoppage. I'm TstreeT Controversy. Oh, shit, I didn't even notice it was still playing. This is TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. TJ Doheny, IBF 122-pound champion. He says he is #1 at 122. He signed with Matchroom. Let's go look at this. Let's go look at this.
It's really just throwing shots. And Takahashi's been hit by some big shots.
Looked like he was almost trying to catch him, but he had it well in his mind. Yeah, now his head snapped back 2 punches prior, and I know no referee likes to see a man's head snap back on his neck, right? I understand that completely. I know, and the bottom line, Takahashi was not winning this fight.
All right, we don't have no time. We don't have a lot of time. I'm tired as hell. I'm probably not gonna make it to the Andrade fight. But listen, is TJ Doheny the #1 122-pounder? Is he better than Ray Vargas? Him and Daniel Roman under the same promotional banner. They're going to be fighting each other. Daniel Roman was just talking about it. I'm talking of it. Emmanuel Narate, who had beat Isaac Dogbe. It's going to be a rematch, by the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Michael Ortega calls a halt to this contest. The official time of the stoppage, 2 minutes and 18 seconds of round number 11. Your winner by TKO. He's still the IBF Junior Featherweight Champion of the world, TJ the Power Doheny.
Well, that was an outstanding performance by Doheny. I don't want to take away anything from that. Just we have to react to the stoppage and what's in front of us. But TJ Doheny looked fantastic, Ray.
He did, and no dispute from Takahashi.
Let me mute this.
From his corner.
So Takahashi actually.
It looks like he signed with Eddie Hearn in the zone. It's looking like he's going to be taking on Daniel Roman next. They've been talking about it, and then he's going to be look at the punch numbers, the punch stats, if you want to. And Navarrete, WBO, is going to be taking on Dogbe again. I forgot when Bob Arum said, wait, it could be on Crawford Khan. And then you have Ray Vargas. I forgot what Ray Vargas is doing. But I do remember also that he possibly could move up. I always get him and Machado confused. Oh, wait, post-fight interview from Doheny.
The title, you make your first defense. How do you think you fought?
Yeah, I was shaking off a little bit of rust, coming back off a thumb injury. I was a little bit, half a second too slow to reaction and my counter punching a little, but the main thing is I came here to defend my title for the first time and that's exactly what I did.
You told us before the fight Takahashi was tough. He was going to be tough to get out of there. You did manage to get him out in the later rounds. Did you see something in him? Did you think you were hurting him in those later rounds? Yeah,
every time I hit him, I felt like I was hurting him, but he was getting himself into some really safe spots. Like a lot of people might have picked up on that, but he was getting himself into really safe situations. I was finding it hard to catch him. But when I was catching him, I was hurting him, and then he was tying me up, and he wasn't allowing me to get the other shots off that I could to finish him. But the main thing is we got the stoppage in the end, and we move on now.
You got a pretty nasty cut on your forehead there. Takahashi got one too. It looked like a headbutt in that second round. How did that affect you during the fight?
It's not a TJ Doheny fight without a cut, but. That's only a scratch towards the one I picked up.
He got some real good body work, though.
Every time I come out with scratches and bruises, because I give it my all in this ring, put on a show for the fans, and that's exactly what I try to do tonight.
So you win the fight, you defend your title. Daniel Roman here tonight is another piece of that title. Is that the fight you want next?
That's the fight I want next. That's what we're all in it for. Danny Roman's a great fighter. He's got the WBA belt. I've got the IBF. Danny, if you're here, I haven't seen you yet, but if you want to get it off.
I was going to say, we can bring him in. Danny, what did you think of the performance?
Congratulations on your win. Tough opponent. Now that that's over, let's make it happen. A unification from champion to champion. Let's give the best fight and let the best win.
It's marinated long enough.
You heard it. You got the orders from the fighters. Let's go. Let's dance.
It's marinated long enough.
Guys. Eddie, why don't we bring you in for just a minute here?
It's marinated too damn long.
Big news. It's out there today. Daniel Jacobs going up against Canelo Álvarez on May 4th. This was a fight you've been pushing for a couple of months now, dating back to Danny's title win right here in this building. How
I'm
did
not
that
going to
fight
cut
come
it off
together?
now.
Well, it comes together because the zone wanted to make the best fights. Daniel Jacobs won the world title here in this building. He's been an unbelievable ambassador for the sport of the boxing. How he's even still fighting after everything he's been through is incredible. I have to take my hat off to Canelo and Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy because this is a tough fight. This is a 50-50 fight. I believe Danny Jacobs is going to beat Canelo on May the 4th. And it's everything that boxing needs. You know, we know there's some great fights out there, but for me right now, I think this is one of the hottest fights in the middleweight division, a big unification fight and a massive, massive night for DAZN.
Canelo Álvarez has a lot of options, can face pretty much anybody. Were you concerned at all over the last few weeks that he might go in a different direction?
I always felt they might not want to fight Danny Jacobs. You know, it's a very tough fight. You saw him have an incredible fight with Gennady Golovkin in this building as well. And, you know, I wasn't sure whether Canelo and Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy would take up the challenge of Danny Jacobs. But they did, and I respect them for that because it's a hell of a fight. A hell of a fight. Daniel Jacobs has told me for a long time he will beat Canelo Álvarez, and now he gets his chance. Cinco de Mayo, we've delivered him arguably the biggest fight in the sport of boxing to be made right now. It's a wonderful fight between two great competitors, and like I said, it's a massive, massive night for DAZN, you know, giving fans these incredible fights with no pay-per-view price. This is a $90, $100 fight every day long, not for DAZN subscribers. So it's massive for us, massive for Danny Jacobs, huge to Canelo, and again, respect to them both for taking this big challenge.
So Daniel Jacobs is signed, 3-fight deal with Matchroom and with DAZN. The other name out there is Gennady Golovkin. What do you know about the future of Gennady Golovkin?
Well, you know, Gennady's a smart guy. He's going to speak to everybody and make his decision. I guess that's going to come soon. We'll leave him to that. We've made our feelings clear. John Skipper and myself and everybody would love to have him on this platform. We would love him to be in those mixes of Canelo, Triple G3, even Danny Jacobs once he beats Canelo. But for me, this is the only place to be for the middleweights. Demetrius Andrade up shortly, the WBO champion. All the belts are on DAZN. I know Gennady Golovkin is about legacy. He's about championships. He's about beating the very best. And to do that, you have to be on DAZN on this platform. So we hope, and whatever he does, we respect his decision. But you know, we'd love him to come in and be part of this incredible journey on DAZN and hopefully fight the winner of that fight in September.
Are you optimistic that that's going to happen?
That spiel.
You'd have to be because of what we've got here, you know, in terms of the competition. As I said, he's a competitor. He's about legacy. He's about defining nights. He's about championships, unifications, undisputed fights. And ultimately, with Andrade, Jacobs, and Canelo, the undisputed middleweight championship will be held on DAZN. And I know that Gennady Golovkin would love to be that man, that champion. Everybody wants to see the Canelo.
All right, Eddie, Jesus Christ, fast
you know,
car.
I believe Jacobs will beat Canelo on May the 4th. And maybe it's the Jacobs-Golovkin rematch. But, you know, just, as I say, Gennady deserves to be able to have his time to make his choice. We just hope it's on DAZN.
All right, let's talk about Anthony Joshua. You have said for the last couple of months he was going to fight in...
We got to mute. And we got to move on to the next fight. And I'm not going to make it. I'm so tired. I've been up for like a long time. I was in the hospital this morning. So I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Please subscribe.
Dillian White, we're talking.